Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello. My name is Evan Freiberger, and we got a storm. We got a storm out there just to the east of Ballinger, pushing off to the east towards 84, 153. Coleman and Novice are all in a tornado warning. This is going to be moving off to the north and east towards these regions. And what we pretty much got going on here is a storm that is increasing its rotation there just to the east of Ballinger. You can see that rotation pretty clearly on the velocities here. See, they're pretty strong on the southern side. Also, these greens are indicating they're decently strong on the northern side, a little bit on the broad side. A lot of these rotations today have been pretty brief. We've actually had a couple of smaller, tighter couplets today, but this is the first one that has been warned. So if you live in these regions, just to the east of Ballinger, you should be in your safe spots. Also, across Texas, we have a severe thunderstorm watch out there for parts of San Angelo. Also, just to the just to the east of Big Lake, around Sonora, south of San Angelo as well. I got a couple of thunderstorms happening a little bit further up to the north near Paducah and Crosbyton, but our most concerning area, at least for right now, is going to be with this storm. You can see that it's trying to wrap up. It's definitely got that supercellular shape to it. Definitely has a little bit of an inflow that's going to be moving off to the north and east towards 84. So if you're in this area, make sure you are getting into your safe spots. New Mexico and Colorado are getting a lot of snow right now. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. We might even be able to pull up some cameras of some snow. It'd be kind of a weird contrast. I don't think I'll be able to pull up any cameras on this one. I have one that I've been watching for a while in the San Angelo, Texas region. But unfortunately, this one, you might be able to see this storm out in the distance, potentially. Let me see if I can turn this to the north, because the camera here that's looking to the north is looking a little bit to the north and east. So at least we'll be able to see some lightning from the tornado warning storm off in the distance. How favorable is the environment for the rest of the night with this storm? It's not super duper favorable, but I mean, there is enough spin in the atmosphere to support some tornadic activity with this thing short term. But, that daylight heating is kind of fading. The instability is going to start to struggle. But for a little brief moment here, the storm is trying to take advantage of the environment that it's in as it moves on to the north and east towards 153. So just be in your safe spots there. Again, that's the lowest, most interior portion of your house. As many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible. A tornado shelter or a basement that is underground. Just could be getting there immediately there. There's actually plow truck cameras. Is that a thing in Colorado? And they're not live. There's like a lot of plow truck cameras. I guess they just take photos in Colorado. Let me see if there's any live cams in Colorado where we're getting some heavy snow. Might as well check that out. I think most of Colorado's cameras are not live, actually. Looked on a couple, and none of them seem to be live at the... Oh, there are some live views. Okay. Yeah, we'll go investigate that in a little bit. I'll put this over here for a second. We'll put it here. And then we'll dive into that a little bit more after the tornado warning is done. We'll go look at some snow. Kind of relax if this thing does end up producing a tornado. It'll allow us to kind of de-stress from everything. And this tornado will make it to Dallas? No. This is a tornado warned storm. Right now, there's no confirmed tornado on the ground just yet. We do still have an area of some decent rotation here, just to the north and east of Ballinger. You can see it a little bit better on this radar, actually. See it right in there. There's your area of rotation. No debris ball on this thing just yet. Also, a little secondary area of rotation appearing back in there. That might be another separate area of rotation, or it could potentially be a little bit of hail contamination. But if you're just to the east of Blanton, over here, kind of north and east of Benoit, Texas, I would be just watching that circulation. You're in that tornado warning. I would be in your safe spots just in case. What about Robert Lee? Let me see where Robert Lee is. Robert Lee, Texas. feel like that's close here. I've seen that a couple of times. Yeah. So you're past the main threat of today. There's still some chances though for some supercells and some thunderstorms. To your south. I'm not exactly sure if there's going to be enough instability going into the night for these guys to be able to form and cause a tornado threat. But there are there is some tornado chances with these. So I don't think they're going to make it all the way up to Robert Lee, but I guess I would still be weather aware there just in case. It is kind of an unpredictable environment today. You're known for your abnormally sized hail. Yeah, this one has some ping pong ball sized hail on it. 1.5 inches, as well as this tornado threat. Wait, what the heck? We got an imposter in chat. Huh. It's weird. It's got the same photo as me and everything. Okay. Should Clyde have anything to worry about? Let me see. Clyde, Texas. Clyde, Texas is to the east of Abilene. Yeah, I mean, some parts of this line have been periodically rotating. I wouldn't completely let your guard down, but it does seem like it's pretty messy the further north you go. I would still be weather aware, though, as that line of thunderstorm is going to bring some elevated winds, some thunder, and some lightning. But unless we see that rotation start to uptick with that, I'm not going to be overly concerned with it. Latest scanned here, still showing a little area of rotation there. Also a little something popping up on the correlation coefficient here, but that's located right underneath this hail core. I mean, you can definitely still tell that this storm is trying to wrap up, but the rotation does seem to be getting a little bit broader where at least the mesocyclone should be. So what we might have is an occluding circulation up here. This right here might have just been some hail contamination, and then where the mesocyclone most likely is located with this storm has some broad circulation on it right now. But still a dangerous supercell with rotation with it. If it does decide to tighten up, areas like Novice and Coleman should still be in their safe spots. Not hidden. Yeah, I think they deleted it. Let me see. Message retracted. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And trust me, you didn't want to read it. This is what it said if you look underneath me. Jeez Louise. Just really friendly people in the weather community sometimes. Check personal DMs. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Interesting. Oh yeah, we got a report of a of a beefcake wall cloud from Jordan Hall. There we go. There's a beefcake wall cloud in chat from the old Jordan Hallinator. Still some broad circulation on this storm. Still waiting on that latest scan to come in here. So I still want Coleman and Novice to be in their safe spots. And beefcake wall cloud is very descriptive. Yeah, that's what he said. Those aren't my words, but hey, it does kind of paint a picture in your head of something. Yeah, I mean, we could call it an angel cake wall cloud. It'll make it feel a little bit less threatening. That is quite the hook. It is quite the hook. You're right. Thankfully, it's not really associated with any like super tight rotation. Still keeping my eye up here, but again, we have so much hail in this area that could very well just be hail contamination, making the rotation look a little bit stronger than what it is. But definitely something to keep an eye on. As long as you're out in the path of the storm, you should be continuing to be in your safe spots. It's just kind of the moral of the story. Just as we figure out what the heck's going on with this storm, that rotation completely dies, they'll probably let the tornado warning expire, or they'll upgrade it to confirmed if it, intensifies again. Anything near Carrollton? Let me see where Carrollton is. Carrollton, Texas, I'm assuming. Yeah, Carrollton, Texas. Yeah, over there north of Dallas. Looks like there's a flood warning. Somebody got some rain earlier today. Might have caused some flooding, but there's nothing around the area right now. These storms should run out of gas before they get to Carrollton, though. Just got our latest scan in. A little something right there. Yeah, it's getting really messy. You can see all this. One looks like we're getting some sort of hail spike from the southern storm, kind of mess with our readings here. Let me see if I can get storm relative velocities. There we go. Yeah, still some broad rotation right here in this area. There is still definitely some broader rotation there. That does also seem like we might be getting some sort of outflow push out from this storm just by the shape of it. Let me check to see what this looks like from the radar to the south again. Yeah, both that's showing up on both, and that rotation appears a little bit tighter. What is that? Is that it? Oh man. See, that looks like a tornadic signature, but I think that's all hail. I think it's all hail. Look at that hail on the southwestern portion of this storm. How many DBZs is that? 78 DBZs, 80 DBZs. Oh my gosh. That's not that far away from this radar. That is probably either a lot of hail or some very large hail. Potentially, we're talking. Let me see what the Ville looks like in this area. Hold on. Is it maxed out? Yeah, I mean, it's maxed out. With the DBZs that high, that might be some very, very large hail there. 80 DBZs. That's pretty crazy. You do not, that might be some like tennis ball to baseball sized hail in that little pocket there. You don't see 80 DBZs on a storm very often, I'll tell you that. We'll just put it like that. And that usually indicates that you either have like a lot of hail falling, like a lot of smaller hail falling, or some really big hail. And then the fact that we are seeing that show up on the correlation coefficient really tells me that there could be some very large hail in there. Because the correlation coefficient picks up things that are bigger than raindrops that can sometimes be debris from a tornado. But in this case, given the lack of velocity signature, it appears like that is just some debris-sized hail. Man, look at that, though. That's crazy. That 80 DBZ hail spike there, that is potentially some pretty damaging hail. That's going to be going into Talpa, near Talpa, Texas, north of Talpa, Texas. Is there any houses in this region? Hopefully not. Not seeing many buildings here. There are a bunch of roads. Yeah, there's a couple buildings. People do live out in this region. Jeez Louise. Fruit-sized? Yeah. Some sort of fruit-sized hail is happening inside of this storm right now, for sure. Lemon-sized, could potentially be... how big is a grapefruit? I don't know the exact calculations. Have they upgraded this yet? Yeah, 2-inch size hail. So now they're saying it's lime-sized hail. So they did just upgrade that pretty recently. Most likely due to that DBZ spike there, mixed with the vertically integrated liquid and that correlation coefficient showing up there on the on the debris ball scan. Like 4 to 4.5 inches. Softball is a grapefruit. Yeah, I probably would not be surprised if it was larger than lime sized. So lime sized or hen egg sized hail is about 2 inches. We could be talking anywhere between like That and baseball wouldn't rule out some DVD-sized hail happening within that very isolated spot. Also, still monitoring these areas of rotation here. This one, I still think, well, that one's not necessarily in the hail core anymore, so that's interesting. But could still be some hail kind of being flung out in that area. This right here, though, is definitely your main mesocyclone of the storm, just to the west of Glen Cove. All right, latest scan just came in. Looks like that was a very brief spike there. It's like that correlation coefficient has kind of dropped off too. Still a decent amount of hail existing in this part of the storm, though. Probably some of our biggest or highest amounts of hail are falling now a little bit further to the north here near 53, pushing off to the east. Yeah, still kind of a weird velocity picture here. Definitely some broader circulation there near Glen Cove, pushing off to the east, still towards Silver Valley. Still keeping an eye on that. Not seeing any definite indications of a debris ball just yet. I still think this right here is hail, as that is north of where this couplet is. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. That anticyclonic, no. The reds are moving away from the radar, the greens are moving towards. So this is a cyclonic area of rotation. We're using the radar over here from San Angelo. Where is this? This is just to the east of Ballinger, Texas, south of Abilene. It's really the only storm that's on my radar. I'm still keeping an eye on these guys because they have shown some signs of subtle radar, of subtle rotation, but nothing that has stuck out to me. I just don't think the environment is super favorable after this storm comes through, but this is kind of my opinion on the matter. Lawton, Oklahoma? I think you guys got some rain. I think Lawton is really far north, right? I think it's like right in here, right? Yeah. You guys just have some rain. It's like rain and thunderstorms there. We're not talking about a tornado threat. Not enough instability for all of that today up there, but definitely some thunder and some rain that is going to be causing some issues up there, especially if you're trying to go outside. But inside, you'll be perfectly safe. Yeah, nothing to worry about up there. Main threat is going to be, I think, predominantly with this supercell right now, but it does seem to be losing its rotation now. "2024 just chugging along." Yeah, it keeps on doing that. 2024, I feel like will go down in history as being the year of weather. The year of, well, this wasn't really unexpected, but we've had a lot of unexpected things happen this year in terms of weather. Big hail producer. Yeah. That looks like they just upgraded this yet again to now tennis ball sized hail. So now we have officially 2.5-inch hail. It is tennis ball sized hail falling out of the sky out of this storm. So looks like we were on to something. I still think for that brief little moment, it could have been larger than tennis sized hail. Could have been larger. Which one of these radars are closest, by the way? Just wondering. That one's 54 miles. This one's 57. So yeah, this one near Moran is now the closest to where that area of rotation would be. Check the latest velocities. Yeah, I mean, still some stronger winds on the southern side, but we're really starting to lose some rotation there. Can I go over the forecast for tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I will definitely do that. I think what we're gonna do is if this tornado warning is allowed to expire. Ooh, little interesting thing happening here south of Abilene. We've actually seen this storm trying to produce rotations today multiple times, but they've just been really too brief and not really super organized and kind of broad. But it might be trying to do that again south of Abilene. So just Keep an eye if you live northeast of there. I'm not really sure if that's going to do much, but definitely something worth noting, I think. But yeah, if the tornado threat dies down, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a forecast, and we'll also talk about the snow in Colorado. Maybe go take a look at Colorado snow. We'll do a brief update on Rafael, which is crazy. You know, we have a Category 2 hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, but I have this like weird feeling that most people just don't care about it because it's not going to be a United States threat per se. So it's just weird. It's like how many times have we had a Category 2 hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, and not many people be worried about it. I mean, it's a good thing that people don't care about it because that means that it's not coming to hit anybody. But still, it's just so weird to see it and then just know that most people are like, yeah, it's Raphael. He's there. He's visiting. He'll be gone soon. Do I feel like weather will be more unpredictable moving forward? Absolutely. Yeah, that's not going to change. That is not going to change. Weather models are based on the past. They're based on the past, right? That's how the algorithms calibrate themselves, is from weather that happens in the past, not weather and how it could change in the future. So the faster and more drastic the changes are, around the globe in terms of temperatures and all that kind of stuff, the harder it's going to be for at least the weather models that we have now to adapt. All right, latest scan here. Still have a little area of rotation. I really feel like this one's getting pretty hail contaminated, though. It's kind of hard to tell just how strong that is. Still have a lot of large to a very large hail falling, probably in this southern portion of the storm, and it's starting to get wrapped around on the top side here as well. That again is some tennis ball sized hail with this storm. Again, that's very large hail. Moving on to the east towards 84. Area of rotation still relatively broad here south of Novice, though. Is that a tornado or what? No tornado on the ground with this guy, at least as far as I can tell. We've had high risks that didn't perform in outbreaks during marginal risks. Yeah, it does happen. It does happen. Weather is unpredictable kind of generally. It's kind of hard to get it right. Models change all the time. They're imperfect. And there's a lot of small features that are used to predict storms, and it doesn't always come together in a way that the models can get right. Sometimes they get them right 7 days out, or not right like 100%, but they can get a pretty good understanding, depending on the storm and how large. I mean, and how much agreement there is between the models. They can get a good picture pretty far out, or you'll just be guessing all the way until the storms happen. All right, looks like they are extending this tennis ball sized hailstorm off to the east towards 206 and 283. Please continue to be sheltering well away from those windows, closer to the interior portion of your house as that hail is falling out of the sky. They will probably, I would assume they're going to probably let this tornado warning expire. It does seem like this rotation is continuing to get broader and broader every scan. I do want to check back up here near Abilene. Yeah, it seems like this rotation is still trying to organize here south of Abilene, right here in this area. Still not tight circulation just yet, but I'd keep an eye on it there in Emdale. We'll keep coming up and looking at it. Still a little bit on the broad side of things. Everyone at work thinks you're crazy because you have an old school hurricane tracking chart in your cubicle and you're tracking Raphael. That's awesome. Well, I don't think you're crazy. You're in the right place. You're normal here. It's the exact kind of weather nerdiest we applaud. Keep it up. That's awesome. I want to get me some old school tracking maps. That'd be pretty cool. All right, let's go check back down with these storms as well. Just want to keep an eye on them. This one might have a little bit of circulation aloft there near Sonora, closer to San Angelo. Maybe a little bit of broad circulation trying to develop on that, but that's in the wrong part of the storm. So not really seeing too much that is concerning me, although we could definitely get a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings issued down here south of San Angelo. Brownwood. Let me check out Brownwood. Brownwood, Texas. Looks like Brownwood is going to get missed to the north from this storm, but there's going to be some chances, some very scattered hit or miss chances with some of these storms that form a little bit further down to the south and east of you. Most of these guys are tracking up to the north, though. So, unless we get, one of these storms become outflow dominant, maybe move a little bit further to the east. Actually, we might be able to get a cam view on this storm eventually. Let me do that really quick. Let me check that out. I don't think we'll be able to see it right now. If we look east, no, west out of San Angelo, we might be able to sneak a view on that storm. On 1, 2, 3. Hey, there it goes. Yeah, that storm comes close enough to San Angelo. We might get a nice little lightning show out of it. All right, let's check out the latest radar scan with this storm. Yeah, still some pretty broad circulation. A little interesting signal back here. Don't think that's legitimate. I think we're dealing with some side lobe contamination back there. Still another big area here of a little bit of a DBZ spike. And that's probably where some of our biggest tennis ball sized hail is currently falling out of this storm right now. Yeah, I'm still monitoring that circulation. Yeah, it's still pretty broad. I wouldn't be overly surprised if it tries to form, but you can actually tell that this storm is trying to wrap up. There's an area of inflow that is certainly working its way into this storm. See that rain is wrapping around on the southern side where that rotation is. It's a little bit on the broad side, but I wouldn't be overly surprised if they issued a tornado warning. But they've seemed to be like holding out on these storms until they show a tight couplet today. So they'll either issue one to be a little bit more cautious, or they'll issue one here soon. Due to this broader circulation, maybe it's a little bit more convincing now that the storm has an organized inflow. Any chasers out there? Yes. Jordan Hall is out there. There's a guy I was watching a little bit earlier. They're called Mezzo Hunters, but I do not have permission to use their stream. I didn't even know they existed until I searched live storm chasers on YouTube. They're a person, and they're doing a really good job chasing this one. I think they were near Ballinger earlier. They're probably like somewhere on 67 if I had to guess, and I think Jordan Hall is out there as well. So just make sure you're looking out for his updates on Twitter. It's tighter in the mid levels, you think? Yeah, let me look at that from the radar afar. Well, not really there. Let me go look at the base reef or base velocity. Base velocity always makes it look a little bit more crazy than it actually is. No, it's not really that much tighter aloft. It's kind of the same, but there's definitely rotation all the way up the storm. So they might issue a warning on that if it tightens up a little bit more on the lower levels. Wouldn't be overly surprised. Looks like that rotation is somewhere in this area now, still pushing off to the east, now towards Elmdale and Highway 20. Yeah, broaden out quite significantly there. That's what this storm has been doing all day, and actually what some of these storms have been like all of these storms have been doing all day. They try to organize that rotation. They get almost to that point. Some of them, like there was a storm near Winters that actually had a pretty decently tight area of circulation on it. I was thinking they might issue a tornado warning on it, but it only lasted for like 2 scans, and no debris ball ended up coming out of it. So I don't think we got a tornado. If we did get one there, it would have been like pretty weak because it was pretty darn close to, or not too far away from the radar. Mezzo Hunter is John Peterson. Interesting. Wildfires, snowstorms, and a hurricane to watch. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. Yeah, that is true. Got a tornado here. We got a wildfire potentially still going over here. I don't think it's contained yet. I can't really see it on radar anymore, but I'm sure the wildfire is still there. We got a snowstorm up here near Colorado and also New Mexico, and we got a hurricane happening down here, which actually is looking pretty healthy. Can you believe this? This is in the Gulf of Mexico. As you can see, the latest track doesn't really bring this towards the United States, and if it does go to the towards the United States, it's going to weaken significantly as it interacts with the trough. I mean, but this is in the Gulf of Mexico. It's just wild to think. A nice organized eye there, very circular. Pretty cold cloud tops. The hurricane hunters were in there not too long ago, and they confirmed close to 86 knots near the surface, I think. So I would definitely put it at a Category 2 hurricane still, which is where it's still progged at right now. This is going to hit Dallas and Fort Worth. No, I don't think it is. I don't think these storms. I mean, I think you get rain from these storms, but I don't think the severe weather threat's going to make it all the way to Dallas. Should be pretty brief. You know, once you get in the winter times, especially when you don't have a large scale system. I mean, we do have a decently strong storm that's like kind of, or not strong, but decently organized low pressure system that is producing these storms. Let me see if I can get a satellite view on it. Go over to the CONUS. And then we'll pull up long wave. Yeah, you can see this guy's kind of stalling over here, dropping just very impressive amounts of snow into Colorado, Denver, and parts of New Mexico. And you can see that, you know, there's definitely some decent upper level shear. You can see those cloud tops getting sheared off to the north and east. You know, one of the things, though, is that the lapse rates are a little low. And those are going to get lower and lower as we go throughout the night due to surface cooling with all this rain. It's going to be hard for these storms to sustain themselves with not a whole lot of storm interaction, but that's why I'm a little bit less confident with these guys. They are technically better lapse rates, but the further south they are, the more removed they are going to be from the best shear in this environment. And there really isn't that much shear in the lower levels, but there's a little bit. There was about 25 knots of shear, which isn't like, you know, tornado outbreak amounts of shear, but enough to potentially, you know, have one of these storms try to produce a tornado. It's a pretty conditional risk today. All right, Radar Explorer. Well, thank you for tuning in. Is Dallas at risk? So let me bring up the severe weather risk for today, just see if you guys a understanding. I think you guys are like either right on the line. Yeah, you're just outside of the severe weather risk. So that kind of aligns with the forecast, which is just doesn't seem like the severe weather risk is going to be able to make it all the way to you guys. That instability kind of gets sapped out. We'll probably see a capping inversion build. I wouldn't rule out some rain or some thunderstorms. You are in a thunderstorm risk, but not a severe weather risk. Day 2, though, tomorrow, you guys are in a severe weather risk. So you will have to watch out for some potentially severe thunderstorms. A little bit of a tornado risk as well with those. Damaging winds are also going to be possible, and a hail risk. But, you know, all of those risks are pretty darn low. So tomorrow is also a conditional day. Going to be a lot of crap vection out there. Storm mode is going to be a little bit messy. Shear should be generally further to the north. So, you know, it's not a loaded gun day by any chance, but I would certainly, you know, be weather aware just in case something happens. I'll be weather aware with you guys. If we get a tornado warning, I'll go live. Thank you, Greg and M, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Let's go see if we can see some lightning. Have any of y'all been seeing some lightning from this camera yet? This is from San Angelo. It's looking to the west, though, so we shouldn't see it. We might be able to see some, I guess, some of that lightning light reflecting off of some of these clouds, but we probably won't see any lightning bolts. Right. So give a new update on this blob of rain and rotation and hail. Yeah, not seeing any new areas of rotation developing here. All the other ones are starting to broaden out and get a little bit less organized. Just tuning in here. What's the scope for Coleman? You live in Brownwood. Let me check out Brownwood for you. I think we already checked out Brownwood, Texas. Should be on the map still. No? Hold on. Let me try that again. Brownwood, Texas. So yeah, Coleman is potentially going to get some large to very large hail. And there you go. Your tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So that's good news. But yeah, Coleman needs to watch out for some very large hail. It should stay up to your north, but sometimes when you get these subtle areas of rotations within a supercell, it can launch some larger hail on the southern side of the storm there. So just make sure that you guys are, staying aware that there is tennis ball sized hail in this storm. That can easily break a window. So just make sure that you guys are, staying away from those windows, and you'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be scary. Your car hopefully is in the garage by now, as we've been warning this storm for a while. But if it's not, I think you're out of time. So I would not go out there and try to rush and do that. Better station in Abilene. What's the weather doing there? We've actually seen some areas of rotation exist around the Abilene area. They've all been pretty brief and relatively broad, but for the most part, the storm has just mainly been rain and some thunder. No big hailers up there. Just been mainly this storm that's been producing that very large hail today. Hello, Galveston County, or Mike. Mike's your name. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to you. There's a 2% for tornadoes tomorrow. Yeah, I just went over that. Yeah, we'll go over actually, let's just go over tomorrow. We'll probably have a lot of people here from Texas. So we'll just go over tomorrow's risk real quick. As we do have a marginal risk. Again, it's not something crazy, but there could be storms, right? So let's go over that. We're basically how it's gonna happen tomorrow is we're mainly gonna have rain and showers until about 2 p.m. Then we could start to see some more organized thunderstorms near like Killeen and Waco and Dallas. If we come over here to our surface-based Cape, you can see there's not really a whole lot up there near Dallas. So, there is going to be still some severe potential with that, but it shouldn't really be too big of an issue. I'm more worried about the storms that fire a little bit further to the south, like near the Waco and Killeen area. You can see that we do have some, maybe a little bit more semi-discrete to discrete supercells out here. But if we go over to the where our rotation is. So let's go to the 850 millibars. You can see that it's really weak. The lower level winds are going to be weak. Strongest lower level winds are going to be up and removed from the storm fuel, that instability we were talking about, that storm food that makes that storms crave. But there is going to be some upper level shear. It's just not a very tornadic environment, but even with that being said, sometimes you can get some, if you just have a little bit of shear and spin in the atmosphere, you can get some storm interactions that can cause a tornado. So I wouldn't 100% rule it out. It's just a very low chance. The main thing that you're going to experience tomorrow, if you're anywhere in this marginal risk for tomorrow, which again is a pretty low risk for severe weather, but still something you should pay attention to and watch out for. The main risk is the main thing you're probably going to experience is some thunderstorms and some rain. maybe a severe storm or two. Then that line comes through as we go into the overnight hours. We're really not expecting much to happen with these storms other than they start to lose some of that instability and they start to become weaker, but still some rain could be expected as far north as Topeka. I mean, this is still a pretty decently sized storm, but the good news is that, we have a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. So this hurricane is like, I want moisture. And so it's going to be trying to eat that moisture. And then this storm up here is like, no, I want moisture. And so basically, these are two little kids in the playroom fighting over moisture. And this one's like calling out to his mom saying, Mom, Tommy or Raphael's taking all the moisture. So essentially, these storms are battling right now, and that's actually going to help, the keep the severe weather threat relatively calm. If we got enough moisture and instability to make it all the way up into Oklahoma City, where we had in Tulsa, where we have some of that better shear environment, we probably would have seen a 5 to maybe even 10% risk for tornadoes, but that's just not happening because of the fact that we got these storms kind of battling for some instability and some storm food, essentially, is what we call it. So, or bacon. We also call it bacon. But yeah, so that's what we're talking about for tomorrow. Anywhere from 2 to about 7 p.m. I would be watching out. After that, storms should be becoming more outflow dominant and not as much of a severe weather threat. So that's kind of what it is. In terms of snow, though, on the further northeast you go, the higher chances you are going to see some snow. Over there, south of Cheyenne, Denver, we're still expecting even more snow. So if you're like, wow, we've got a heck of a lot of snow on today, just you wait. There's even more coming tomorrow. And, those impacts are going to continue to get worse and worse in terms of those travel conditions. You guys usually can handle it pretty well, but, given the context of this storm, which the National Forecast Database does keep in mind, snow totals up there, or not snow totals, where's the outlook that I'm looking for? I guess it would be in... Hold on one second. What's the best way I can do this? I done screwed up. Can I bring this all the way back? No. Okay, so I have to go over to the models. Just give me a moment. Sometimes things just don't go as smoothly as you want. Hold on. Can we do freezing rain? There we go. I was just trying to clear out the map. I wish there was like an easy button you could press. It just clears off everything on the map and allows you to overlay graphics. All right, so winter weather, severity index. Today, it's been pretty darn active. Not super crazy out there. But tomorrow, actually, it's not too bad, it says. Not too bad. Okay, so it looks like the worst impacts were probably day. And then also potentially on day 3. So yeah, two to 3 days still of some potential major impacts. Day 1's going to be more widespread, moderate impacts. Going into day 2, not as serious, and then maybe an extra little last hurrah of the snowstorm south of La Junta going into day 3. Day 1 is today, day 2 is tomorrow, day 3 is the day after tomorrow. So nothing super crazy. You guys do get these storms every now and then. So, you won't, if we got this snow over here in the southeast, we would be it would be a national headline, and the impacts would be major. Our extreme impact, I think, is what it is. The purple color. But that's when you look at these outlooks, they take into account how much snow you guys typically get, right? So just keep that in mind. Yeah, but it looks like today was probably the worst day. We have active blizzard warnings in northeast New Mexico. Yeah, strong winds with some of those storms. What about Conroe, Texas? Let me see where Conroe is. Conroe, I'm pretty sure that's like more to the east, right? Yeah, near Houston. Conroe, I think you guys are going to be to the south of that marginal risk. Yeah, so maybe some thunderstorms, but that's pretty much all we're expecting. Hey, we need snow, man. I don't know about y'all, but I've been waiting for a nice snowstorm where I'm at. It's kind of sucked. It's just been hot. We haven't even gotten really any cold weather, like at all. I live in the southeast, Usually we have at least one big old thing of cold air come through. I mean, we've had like one shot already, a little bit of cold air, but I want multiple shots. No more radar Omega. I still have to use radar Omega, but for a little bit. But I can tell you guys right now, weather-wise is going to be very usable for me here shortly. They told me they got a lot of updates planned. Lots of updates. Wait for snow in Chicago. Warm as heck in New York City. That's what I'm saying. It's been like annoyingly hot. It's November. Like, come on. Like usually I hate the winter, but I'm missing it a little bit. I'm kind of missing it. You live in Maine, you hate winter. Well, then I guess you're in good spirits then. Because you guys haven't really been getting anything too crazy cold up there. Although if you hate winter and you live in Maine, you kind of did that to yourself. Because Maine has winter. Big time winter. Come move down here to the south. Winter just pretty much doesn't exist down here. Saw a lightning flash. I think this storm that's near San Angelo is getting closer. I like 75-degree weather, and I can bear warm weather. What I don't like is cold weather. I hate it. Not a cold person guy. I live in the South. We don't like the cold down here. You know, I mean, it literally just takes freezing temperatures to cause an apocalypse down here. We don't even need, because we have so many farms down here. We got, like our water system isn't really built for super cold temperatures. So our pipes break whenever it gets below zero. We get 2 inches of snow and everything shuts down. So it's not just me. We just don't do well in the cold. Conroe, Texas is fine. You guys will be all right. Just some rain and some thunderstorms. You do not winter well. Yeah. Speaking of winter, I do want to see. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking at it, but I am curious. I want to see if we can find a camera near like Trinidad here on 25 in the Colorado region. I got some cameras in Colorado. I just want to see it real quick. Just real quick. Let's see. Where's Trinidad? Trinidad's down here. Do we got any live cameras? Come on. Load. You can see there's some snow there. Hold on. One of these cameras. I just clicked on that one. What is this? Okay. Well, we got a snowplow that's out there. What is it seeing? Is this live? Okay. Here's a little live view. Can't really see much. You're going to really need like a high definition camera, like right next to a light to see this. Like a camera shot like this doesn't really help you much. Not in the dark. You can't see snow in the dark. So we're going to have to find one like directly like in Trinidad, which is this one. And then this one is, oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's some heavy snow right there. Look at that. Oh, wait. I think we've got I think we got a closure here. Something that I think that truck is stuck. Uh-oh. That can get dangerous. There you go. Our first real look here of a nice heavy snow. You had tiny bits of Graupel like 2 weeks ago, but it melted fast. Oh, man. Where is this located? This is located near Trinidad in New Mexico, or in southern Colorado. I just wanted to come over here, just take a little bit of a look at it. We'll go back down to covering Texas in a little bit. The tornado warning has expired, which is why we issued this stream in the first place. But we'll go back down there and talk about it for a little bit more. I just want to take a moment to enjoy a brief little look here at a nice little heavy snow. Keep an eye on this trucker. I think this road is pretty much impassable here near Trinidad. Yes, Hannah, you are in the tornado risk for tomorrow, but it's a low chance. It's a low chance. I would be weather aware, but it's pretty darn low. Everybody's clicking on my thumbnail right now, and they're thinking this is clickbait for sure. They're like, I thought you said there was a tornado threat. Why are we looking at snow? Are we getting snow nados? No, sorry. No snow nados, it's just me being ADHD. When there's weather, I like to look at it. We can go over and check out on those fire cameras again. See how the fire's doing too. Let's go over to the Cal Fire cameras. I want to see how that is progressing. It is nighttime in the area. It's not as smoky as it was. Yeah, it's not a really good time to look at the fire at night. Oh, is that it? Oh wait, there it is. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Give me a moment. We had some wildfires go through a neighborhood in California. Let me just refresh my memory on. It's Carmelo Heights, and this fire has actually burned down multiple buildings, and it's still on fire. You can see it there on the bottom left. This is near Los Angeles, California. These fires, the snow, and the severe weather threat is really everything that is happening right now. And there's a lot. I mean, that's a lot they're all kind of isolated events, but, and a hurricane. Can't forget about the hurricane that is in the Gulf of Mexico. What happened to this camera here? Let me get this one going because we should be able to get some lightning soon. Oh, yeah, there it is. 2, 3. Some lightning over there. Lots of $1 million homes went down. Yeah. Yeah, those were some big houses. I'm just hoping that everybody, honestly, I don't care how expensive the houses were. I just hope that everybody that was evacuated in time. Yeah, look, a little bit of thunder back there on the left. A little bit of lightning. Sorry. I don't know why I call it thunder. It's probably because I'm an idiot. But yeah, latest scans out here, really not seeing much more organized rotation. I think that was just a little brief threat. And then these storms are going to kind of become outflow dominant. They also dropped the hail size down on this storm again, back down to ping pong ball sized hail. Yeah, it was north and west of Van Nuys. Just north of Van Nuys. 2024 wildness continues. Yeah. All right, let's come back to the snow. What did I just do? Oklahoma, we're expecting in Oklahoma is just lightning. No tornado threat up there or even a severe weather threat, just some rain and lightning. Check San Angelo. Yeah. So this is actually a view out of San Angelo. Why does it keep getting mini? I don't know why that keeps getting mini. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. This is a view actually out of San Angelo. Looking to the west, where we do have a little bit of a thunderstorm happening over there. Let's come back over to our radar. A little bit of a thunderstorm here. Been watching your guys' area pretty much all day. We actually had a pretty decently sized storm come through, or come very close, and then another one came through San Angelo earlier. It looks like this one's going to try to make a close approach too. It's going a little bit to the east, so we're probably going to get a pretty decent view of this storm. I don't see any dangerous rotation on it, but they might put a severe thunderstorm warning right before it goes through there. Our main area where we're watching for severe thunderstorms is in this kind of shaded region here. So that would be like Abilene, Brownwood, Ballinger. San Angelo, Sonora, and then the chances for severe weather will go down, but still will exist to pretty much about here. And then it should fizzle out for the night, and then we'll get another little recharge in the atmosphere, and then we'll see some more severe weather potentially happen tomorrow, kind of in these regions here. 41 degrees in Maine. Yeah, that's warm for Maine. Gonna get some rain tomorrow in Broken Arrow. Yeah, you technically have Hurricane Raphael to thank for that. If that instability could have made it further up to the north, we could have been talking about a tornado risk in Oklahoma tomorrow. How's the snow doing? I was like, this truck is still stuck. Hopefully that person can get a ride out of there. Dang it, I don't know why this camera keeps getting all small on me. Hold on. There we go. I think it's every time I switch back to that snow cam. But all right, folks, I am going to probably head off. I'll keep watching it just in case something ends up going crazy again. But for the most part, it looks like pretty low risk for really anything at this point. Still keeping an eye on this guy. If you live to the east of this, I would still be weather aware. Severe weather is still possible. If you're going out and about tonight, definitely be aware of that lightning. But I think that was just a brief little uptick in tornadic activity, and then seems to have fallen apart pretty quickly here. So I'll keep my eye on it, but I doubt I'll have to go back live just given the atmosphere around these storms. But thank you guys for tuning in. It was nice meeting all y'all. And we'll be back potentially tomorrow. Who knows? If a tornado warning happens tomorrow, I'll probably issue another live stream again. And then we'll be keeping an eye on those storms after that point for a little bit. I also have probably a little bit more cameras in this area too. So hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some more storm views than I did today. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again for the mods showing up at moment's notice. And also thank you guys, whoever subscribed to this channel during this stream. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that liked. And also just generally have a good night tonight. Try to enjoy yourself. I know some people are stressed out there and a little sad, but I promise you it will get better. It will get better. And other people are happy, and I promise you it'll probably still get better for you too. We'll see. Anyways, peace.